This is Frank. I'm going to be your host today, and this is our second training. This is Underwriters in Training, UIT. I hope that each and every one of you will run your Skype in the background so that when we get notifications, everyone gets notified. This is not the official underwriter training. This is more or less OJT, on the job training. This is going to be a way for you to earn money before you have to pay any money. It does cost to become an underwriter. It does cost to become a pro agent. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it easy for everybody to earn some money, so that when the fee is due, you guys can just pay the fee out of your earnings rather than out of your pocket. So that's what I'm trying to do for everyone. I want to make this thing as quick and brief and concise as possible. I'm going to ask everybody to obtain a white 3-ring binder with those plastic page protectors, and then we're going to be adding things into your page protectors each week, each day that we have a presentation. We're going to have something that you'll be putting into your binder, so it will serve to be an easy reference point, and it'll also serve to help you. Okay, thank you. Don't send me text. In a minute, I'm going to unmute everyone, and then we can start talking freely. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and get the training started. The first thing that I wanted to talk about today was the UBF flyer. So let me pull up a UBF flyer. Everyone should be able to see my screen at this point. Okay, I'm going to unmute all. I hit unmute all. Okay, for some reason my unmute all is not working. So I'm going to just keep going. I don't want to mess around with technicalities today. I want to just keep going. All right, so where I am right now, somebody tell me that you can see my screen.
I can see it, Frank.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're at the dashboard, and this is basically where you start off to get your available documents. There's the dashboard. We come down to available documents. When we click on this available documents, it will open up with a screen like is showing right now. And these are all of the different products that we have to sell. I say all, not really all. This is all that finance agents can sell. You guys are way above and beyond finance agents. You're going to have much, much more that they don't have available to them. But today, the most important thing, every single deal that we submit should have the working capital attached to it. And there's a reason for it. If you qualify for the working capital, then you qualify for everything else. So if you want to go to a RIA group meeting and you want to let everyone get pre-qualified, in 24 to 48 hours, they are going to be pre-qualified. They're going to be pre-qualified with Judy, I'm going to mute you, and Alice, I'm going to mute you, and David, I'm going to mute you. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. The unsecured financing is our first step for getting anyone pre-qualified. So this is what I want you to print out, and you can take this with you you can put in your name right in this space right here and your contact information so that people can contact you when they're ready. If we're setting up a table and we're offering to pre-qualify everyone, we're going to bring them to this point and we're going to get this for them. So you should read this flyer in its entirety. There's not a lot of words, but about our credit lines, grow your business with up to $200,000, flexible, only pay interest on the funds you use. That's the big scary one. Everyone thinks that if they get 200,000, they're going to have to start making payments immediately. The answer is absolutely no. You only pay for the funds that you actually use. So you can have this 200,000 for 10 years and never use it. You never have to make any payments on it. It will not hurt your personal credit. You know, I'm afraid I just barely got my credit up over 680. I don't want anything to hit my credit. It will not hurt your credit. Easy to qualify than normal loans. It is absolutely easy to qualify for. Make sure when you start this training, you put your phone on airplane mode so that you don't have any interruptions. Okay. Easy to qualify, it's start fast. Don't miss the opportunities. When the deal of the century pops up, that is not the time to get pre-qualified. If you wait until that time to get pre-qualified, Mr. Real Estate Investor, you just missed the deal of the century. The time to get pre-qualified is today at the RIA meeting, and we will give you your qualification in 24 to 48 hours. Approved in 24 to 48 hours, 2 business days. The funding that you'll get the money is in 10 business days, and it could run as long as 21, but 10 to 21 business days. And you can also, listen to this one, enjoy introductory rates as low as 0% APR. That's correct, 0% APR. This is called you make money on my money. You make money on OPM. Anyone know what OPM stands for? A lot of people are afraid of OPM, but that's real estate investing 101. Always use other people's money. What can you use this for? Start new businesses, make new clients, market to new clients, acquire new equipment or supplies, build a website, start an online marketing, create great new products or services, put down money for a down payment, pay back taxes on a piece of property, put a deposit on a piece of property, pay closing costs, pay attorney's fees, pay advertising and marketing, buy the crew lunch, any legitimate business purpose you can use this money for. So you need to get pre-qualified as fast as possible. The next thing I want to talk about is the application process. So I'm going to go to my back office. Now you don't have this back office yet, so you're going to have to make a copy of this letter that I'm about to send, and you will have to make your own template. Now, I do not give computer lessons, so if you don't know how to make a template, get with someone who does and ask them how to make a template and then use the template. On every new applicant, what we're going to do is use this letter. This is automatically populated because of my back office, my system. You would make it a template, and then you would put the person's name that you're referring to right there. This automatically fills in us. Welcome to Easy Financial Group. It automatically filled that in for me. And it's telling these people to go to annualcreditreport.com or any other type of credit reporting agency to get a full report. I'm not looking for the number so much. They usually charge if you want your FICO score. Not looking so much for the number. What I'm actually looking for is those little green boxes with check marks in those little green boxes, meaning paid as agreed. We want to see that as many little green boxes as possible. If you see some little red boxes with the check marks in it, we got problems. We got to fix that. And that actually could kill the deal depending. So I'm going to send this letter to everybody, and then you can edit the letter so that it makes sense. You want your name down here. You want your position, underwriter in training, or whatever you want to put in there. You want to put your phone number and your contact information in this letter. And again, make it as a template. And then every time we deal with a new client, you're going to send this letter, and you're going to be asking them to get you a full credit report. That's the basis of everything we do, whether it's the 100% CLTV or not. That is the basis of what we do. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. So the next thing I wanted to do is wanted to talk about what is good credit. And earlier today in the UIT, where are you? Come on. Come on. In UIT, I sent out what is good credit. Okay, so what is good credit? I'm going to download it. Open. All right. So what is good credit? So good credit is not 850. By the way, that's as high as you can go, is 850. The good credit doesn't necessarily mean just the number. Good credit has some importance to it. So here are 5 areas in our house underwriters that are looking at. You need a score of 680 or above. Well, we can work as little as 650 and sometimes a little less than that. And so I would submit people with less than a 680. But it's not the most important thing. You need to have depth and history of your credit. This means open credit cards, and this is the most important aspect. Your open credit cards you should have at least one credit card with a $5,000 credit limit. If you have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 credit limits, then we're going to match that credit limit and raise it. So we're going to get more than your highest credit limit is what you're going to get, and you're going to see that in a moment. So the most important thing is to have multiple credit cards opened, and I'm talking about credit cards, not store cards, not like not a Lowe's card, something that you could use in any place that you go, a Master or a Visa card or an American Express or Discover, that you can use anywhere that you go, not just in that particular store. Not like a Macy's card. We don't want that. What we want you to have is 3 or 4, maybe 5 already. We want you to have a high credit limit, such as at least 5,000, but maybe 10 or 15,000. And we want you to be at 50% of credit utilization. We're going to go over that in a minute when I show you the blue skies. You can't have any recent derogatories. However, we can work with them, and you can never have a bankruptcy showing or a foreclosure. If you have a bankruptcy or a foreclosure showing on the credit report, Someone tell Karen the meeting is now. Poor girl. All right, so okay, so you can't have a bankruptcy or a foreclosure. If those are showing, we have to stop. We have to put them through the credit restoration process. Remember, we have two. We have a negotiated credit restoration. It takes from 30 to 90 to 120 days, and it's negotiated, and it's dirt cheap. Then we have another one, credit sterilization. That takes under 30 days, and it costs $2,500. The value is dirt cheap if you're doing $1 million property, or the value is outrageous if you're doing a $100,000 property. The value only is determined by how much it's going to mean to you. But if you get a bankruptcy or a foreclosure, know this: we can't move forward. You can go through the motions, but don't you get your hopes up. We'll show you how to negotiate with the client to bring this to their attention and to solve this problem. We have to look at your credit card debt versus the limits. Oftentimes, if you have too much debt, we'll give a specific pay down to have success. I'm going to go over that in a moment when I show you the blue sky. That's called a C2 pay down. Lastly, we look at inquiries. If someone's been out shopping around, like in the example I give Bob, when I gave the example of Bob in the training, he had been shopping for 2 years. Anyone who would listen to him, he would put an application in, and he had, 20, 30, he had a lot of inquiries. When we put him through the credit sterilization, he had 2 inquiries, and he had 2 loans. The inquiries matched the loans, and nothing else showed. That's our credit sterilization. But if you come to us with tons of inquiries, we're going to have a problem. So it's a puzzle, and we take all of these factors into consideration, and all we need is 24 to 48 hours to give someone a realistic input of what we can accomplish. I really wanted you to print that out and see that, so and keep this in your book so that you can go back and reference this page. Right. The next thing that I wanted to do, moving along really briskly, is I wanted to get to a blue sky. So I'm going to go to leads. Again, you don't have this back office. You will when you become an underwriter. I'm going to go to reviewed leads, and I'm going to go to, well, I actually didn't have to do that. I could have gone to Casey. C-A-S-E-Y, Casey. Casey Hagstrom. Okay. So Casey Hagstrom applied for this. Again, this is my back office. I wish you had it. You will shortly. There's Casey Hagstrom. She was reviewed for an unsecured loan. This is the agent that brought her in, Steve Gill. And this is his information. We like to put a bunch of information about what's going on in the description so we know what we're doing. But I want not to show you the client. I want to show you the blue sky. So we come over here and we come to a C2. This is her pre-qual. Can we all say pre-qual? This is her pre-qual. Sorry. Okay. I tickle myself. Okay, so we want to say pre-qual. We want to do a pre-qualification. I'll go into great detail later, but we never send this to the client until the client is in their office. Their door is closed. Their cell phone is turned off, and they can pay attention to us. We cannot do this while the client is driving down the road. I'm going to paraphrase. I'm not going to read. What we say is, don't do anything stupid. So the first thing I do is I tell the client to open up the email I'm about to send you and tell me when you got it. They open it up. I say, okay, only go to the blue screen. There's two pages. Only go to the first page. Okay, and I tell them, don't do anything stupid. Don't buy any new cars. Don't get any new credit. And above all, don't miss any payments. Let's scroll down. Then I tell them that this is for you, Casey, and I want to draw your attention right down here to what we're going to be able to get for you. From $25,000 to $40,000 is what we're going to get for you. Here's what we found. This is the explanation that we found. We found that Bank of America, you have a $4,997 balance with a $5,000 limit. You have an American Express, $11,649 with an $11,600. You're actually over your limit there. And then independent savings, you have $7,373 and a $10,800 limit. This is a C2 pay down. In order for us to give you this $40,000, what you have to do is get yourself down to 50% of your available credit. So on Bank of America, pay it down to $2,500. On Amex, pay it down to $6,000. On Independent, pay it down to $5,000 without increasing any other debt. Frank, how do I do that? Well, we have an angel investor who will come in and help you pay those down to the point where you need to pay it down to. And if you pay it down, and if it reflects, then we could get you $40,000. Now we say 25 to 40. We are the most conservative company on the planet. What they always do is they always shoot low, but give high. We always go 30% above this number every time. We're going to be 25 to 30% higher than the highest number that we predict, unless there's something really bad. Now, what if, by the way, this was business credit, totally business credit. It does not show up on your credit report. It doesn't show up if you have a business partner on their credit report. It only shows up on the Paydex report that we got you. Now, if you don't mind us combining the two, giving you business and personal credit, why then you can have up to $60,000. And again, we're going to be about, I'm talking to you, my underwriters, we're going to be about 30% higher than this number. Okay, almost every single time. Well, here's 70,000. Personal and business combination projected 50 to 70,000. This person went with this. They went with the higher number. And they had to pay down some of their debt in order to get that. So we introduced them to our angel investor who helped them out. All right, we're going to go into greater detail with this when it's time. When you have a blue sky, I will be with you to deliver your first 3 or 4 or 5 blue skies to your clients. And then after that, I will have completely explained every one of these boxes, and then you'll be able to explain it, and it will be you and your agent speaking to the client. It's a 3-way call, you, your agent, speaking to the client. During the training, it'll be me, you, your agent, and speaking to the client. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to go over real quick, because time is burning up really fast, is the checklist, what we need for the checklist. I already did the applications. I touched on the application briefly. You can open the application and see it's very, very simple. I'm going to go into the closing checklist. I'm going to open it. Okay. This is a checklist of things that need to be paid attention to at the time of funding. At the time of funding. Up until that time, we're not really concerned about a whole lot of this. But at the time of funding, we have to go down this checklist and make sure that we have um, checked all the boxes to make sure that we haven't missed anything and that we don't have any surprises at the end of the thing. Now, I was going to show you. I showed you um, one. I pulled up four to show you, but I think I'm going to just let it go at that. I don't want to overwhelm you. So what we're going to do now is I am going to open this up to questions. I don't want to hear crickets. I only have about 5 minutes left. So just unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Hey, Frank, this is Jeffrey Dukes.
Okay, Jeff.
So the angel investor that comes into play, is that paid up and rolled into the account, or is that going to be a credit restoration? Or
Fantastic question. Don't keep guessing. The way it works is the angel investor will pay the money. As we saw earlier in the blue sky that I've already closed, in the blue sky, she had about $10,000 that she had to pay down. The angel investor comes in, he pays down the $10,000 and he does not report it to anyone, thus without incurring any new debt. That was the big thing. You cannot incur any new debt. You can't go out and get a loan to pay this down. That would now show on your credit report and it would shoot you in the foot. So he comes in, he pays it down, and just I hope you have your big boys and girls pants on, because this is going to get scary right now. He comes and he pays down the $10,000. He then puts it into the system and forces it to reflect quickly. It reflects in about 3 days. Normally it reflects in 30 days, but he does this in such a way that it will reflect in about 3 days. Once it reflects, the payment has been made, the payment you paid down, and it's showing that you've paid down. Then you start getting the funding. As soon as you get the funding, he takes his money first. So if he paid down $10,000, he might take back $10,250. That $250 is the interest that you paid for those 10 days.
Okay. How does his reflection
Without paying that money, you would not have got anything. So that's pretty cheap.
How does reflection view the late payments and the red dots? Does it have any effect on those?
No, he can't do that.
Okay.
Good question. So let me finish this question. That was a great question. Let me finish this one. So he gets paid first. He gets his $10,000 that he paid you for you. He gets his $10,000, and then he gets his $250. That's his interest. He gets that $10,250. Then we send them a bill, and then we get our commission. Our commission on all of the deals that I do is 9.9%. That's our commission. That's what we charge, 9.9%. So you've paid him his $250. You pay us our 9.9% of whatever the number is. If it's 20, 30, 50, 100,000, you pay us that 9.9. And right now, there's nothing on your credit account but that one bill. That's it. So at this point in time, you owe nothing except paying off that 9.9%. And you can pay that with 2% per month until you get ready to actually use the card. Now, that's the end of that. Now I'm going to go to the second question. Please restate that second question.
I know the angel comes in and puts a hard time press on the actual payments due to the credit card companies, which reflects well, but what does that effect have on the red dots, meaning the negative late payments?
Okay. I'm going to erase that question, and I'm going to say, what about the red dots? Okay.
What about the red dots?
It has nothing to do with the angel investor. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so it's got nothing to do with the angel investor. The red dots that are on there, we have to negotiate. We have to take a look at. Why did you miss a payment? Well, I went on vacation, and I put the check in the mail and in an envelope, and I left it on my kitchen table. Okay, that's yeah, that happens. Or I just didn't have the money. That's not a good excuse. That's a bad excuse. I didn't have the money, and that's why I missed the payment. I lost my job, or whatever the reason. Those are bad excuses, and you more than likely get declined. So how do we avoid the decline? We first don't even bother to put it in. We say, listen, you're going to get declined. The worst thing in the world that you don't want a decline on your credit report. You don't want to have any more inquiries and get declines. Those are the worst things. I'm answering the red boxes. What we need to do is we need to talk to you about credit restoration. We can put you through a credit restoration program. It is dirt cheap. If you're investing in real estate, it is dirt cheap. It's $188 to begin. It's $89 per month. It might take another month or two to get these off, but that's the best I can do for you at this point. Or you can bring in a credit partner who doesn't have red boxes. The red boxes, if you're serious about real estate investing, you want to get rid of those red boxes. The only way you can get rid of the red boxes is credit restoration. Now, I didn't say credit repair. Everybody knows credit repair does not work. I said credit restoration. We get rid of bankruptcies, foreclosures, judgments, repossessions, IRS tax liens, student loans, medical bills, even child support, late pays, and moving around a lot, and a lot of inquiries. We can get rid of all of those things off of your credit report. If you're serious about real estate investing, you know you need good credit, right? And everyone responds back with, right. Now, but I can't wait. I've got the deal of the century, okay? If you've got the deal of the century and you don't want to lose it, you need to bring in a credit partner. And what we're going to do is we're going to borrow that credit partner's FICO. I didn't say he's going to co-sign. Everyone's afraid of co-sign. We're going to borrow that credit partner's FICO, and then we're going to get you the funding that you want by setting up your payday. You see, we're not lending money to people, we're lending money to companies. So this is not going to show on your credit report. It's not going to show on your business credit partner's credit report. It'll only show on your Paydex report, which we are going to create now.
I have a question, Frank.
Go.
The $10,000 that you just mentioned, or I'm sorry, the angel investor, he comes and pays this lady's debt or men's debt off that you just showed in the presentation. He pays that off so her credit score will go up. Now, you mentioned 2% a month. Was I missing that? I mean, how are they paying this money back that once all their credit cards are paid off, they're able to qualify to get the funding, and then they're going to pay the angel investor is going to get his money back immediately when she qualifies for the loan. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
So 2% a month?
Well, within 10 days. As soon as this particular lady we were talking about, as soon as Casey's gets funded, as soon as she gets funded, the first person that has to be paid back is the angel investor, his initial amount of money and his interest. Second person that needs to be paid back is us, and we're paying it back with the money that we got her. It's not out of her pocket. It's
right.
money that we got her.
Okay, so after that, how long does she have to pay that money back?
For
to
the rest
original?
of her life. That's good for the rest of her life. As long as she's got a business, she can use that money over and over and over again. Every time she pays it back, whatever she pay, whatever, if she uses 5,000, pays back the 5,000, then she can use that 5,000 again. In her case, she had 70,000, I believe. She used 35,000 immediately, pay back the 35,000. She can use it again and again
Right.
and again.
So what was her
She buys.
credit score? I didn't see her credit score. And how does she qualify for this angel investor?
Nobody qualifies for the angel investor.
Okay.
It just if